right, okay, so we got part 2 here. So now we're going to do a monomial by a binomial. Okay, so first we got this first example. We have a monomial. That's just one term right there, right? There's no plus or minus sign separating anything. And then here we've got a binomial because within these parentheses, we've got two different things being added together. Okay, that's what a binomial is. You've got two things that are either added or subtracted together. They're separated by a plus or minus sign. All right, so when we're multiplying anything that has more than one term, right? In this case, we're talking about this binomial right here. We're going to use what's called the box method. So we'll see a few examples, get some more practice with it, and then hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense what we're talking about. All right, so first of all, one of the terms, one of the products, one of the two things being multiplied together is going to be on the rows side of the box. The other one is going to be on the columns. It doesn't matter which one, you're going to get the same answer either way. So I'm going to make the 3m be the rows. So I got one row because there's only one term right here. And then I've got two terms here. And each of those terms is going to make up one of the columns of the box. So we have 5m to the power 2 and 2m. Okay, so we're going to multiply everything and put it in its appropriate box. So here's what we mean by that. So first of all, we're going to multiply 3m by 5m squared. That's going to go right here in this box. Secondly, we're going to multiply 3m by 2m, and that is going to go right here in this box. Okay, so 3m times 5m squared. First thing we're going to do, multiply those coefficients. That's those numbers out in front, right? The 3 and the 5. So 3 times 5 gives us 15. Then we're going to multiply the variables, those letters together, right? Remember, when you're multiplying the variables, you're adding the exponents. So whenever there's no exponent, there's an invisible 1 right there, right? Don't forget the invisible 1. That's m to the power 1. So what we're doing, we're multiplying m to the power 1 by m to the power 2, right? So remember from the last video, you're going to be adding those exponents. So you got m power 1 times m power 2. Adding the exponents, you're going to get 15m to the power 3. All right, same thing on the other side, that other column over there. 3m times 2m. Multiply those numbers out in front. 3 times 2 gives us 6. And then again, same thing. Be aware of those invisible exponents. If there is no exponent, there's no little numbers, no power it's being raised to, that's going to be a 1. So again, right here, we've got that invisible 1. So when we're multiplying the greens together, we've got m to the power 1 times m to the power 1. Add those exponents, and it is m to the power 2. All right, so the answer, you're going to add those things together. Whatever's inside the box, you're going to add them together. That's your answer. You got 15m to the power 3 plus 6m to the power 2. That's your answer. And notice, you've got different exponents here, so we can't combine the terms. It is m power 3, m power 2. You cannot combine those under addition or subtraction. If they were multiplying them, we could multiply. But these are being added right here. You can't combine them. That's your final answer. All right. Same thing here. Let's do example 5 next. All right. So over here on the left, we've got one term right here. And then again, on the inside, we've got two terms because we've got a plus sign that is separating them, right? We've got a plus sign separating them. All right. So again, we can let this one out front, that can be our rows. And then for columns, that's going to be the two terms on the inside. So 3a to the 4th, b power 3, 6a squared, b power 3. All right, and we're going to follow that same process. We'll multiply this by this and put it right here in this box. And then we're going to multiply this by this, and that's going to go right here in this box. And then we're going to add them together at the very end. Anytime we're multiplying and there's more than one term, there's some sort of binomial, trinomial. In this case, it's a binomial because there was two terms in the parentheses. Just use the box method. It works every time, and it's, in my opinion, it's the easiest way to do it. When I get back, we'll go over some more methods, some other ways we can do these as well. All right, so same thing we've been doing. Multiply the numbers out front first. We're going to do the reds. 3 and -5, that's going to be -15 when we multiply. Let's switch to red. -15. And then again, multiply each letter only by its own letter. So the a to the power 2, a to the power 4. Add the exponents. A to the power 6. Same thing with the b's. There's your invisible 1, b to the power 1, b to the power 3. You're going to add those exponents, b power 4. Similar idea on the blue side. So we've got this guy right here times this guy. So multiply those numbers out in front. -5 times 6 is -30. A squared, or a power 2 times a power 2. You're going to add the exponents just like we always do. A to the power 4. And then b to the power 1 times b to the power 3. Add the exponents. 1 and 3, that is also a 4. So in the same way, for our final answer, we're just going to carry them down here. So you have -15, a power 6, b power 4, minus 30, a power 4, b power 4. And there you go. There is the answer. All right, I'll do one more just so we have an example of what if we have a trinomial. Okay, let's do one more. Example number 4 right here. So if we've got 7g, that's going to be our columns. Then for our rows, we're going to have, instead of 2 rows, we're going to have 3 rows, right? Because this time there's 3 terms. 3 things being added or subtracted together within those parentheses. So we've got the g power 2, we've got the 5g, and we've got the -3, right? That's a -3. Don't forget the negative there, because that 3 is being subtracted. All right. And again, the 3 is being subtracted. Technically, this is being added. You could put a +5 there, but just remember, if there's a 5, you're assuming that that's a +5. So you don't really need the plus there. But you could put it there. It's not wrong either way. All right. So same thing as we always do. Go box by box. So 7g times g squared. So you got to multiply the numbers out in front. Similarly to the way, if there's no exponent, right, we got to put that 1. That's an invisible 1. Same thing if there's no number, there's no coefficient out in front. That's going to be an invisible 1 right there. So we've got 7 times 1. That's 7. G power 1 times g power 2. You're adding those exponents. G power 3. All right, we keep moving over. Let's put our invisible 1 right here. That's g to the power 1. So we're going to go, let's do the greens now. We got 7 times 5. Multiply those numbers out in front. And then multiply the letters. G power 1, g power 1. Add those exponents. G power 2. All right. And then whenever we're multiplying, we've got a letter on one, and there's no letter on the other. Let's go orange, so I have a different color. A letter on one, no letter on the other. The exponent is not going to change. It's just going to stay the same. All you got to do, multiply the numbers out in front, and don't forget to keep that letter there. All right, so -3 times 7, -21, and then don't forget your g. Or you could say g to the power 1, because those are the same thing. All right, and as always, we're just going to bring everything down for our final answer. 7g3 plus 35g power 2 minus 21g. Or you could say 21g to the power 1. And that will be your final answer.